you are doing that's entrepreneurial, and how it differs perhaps, and how it may be similar at the same time to the business entrepreneur?
Well, that's a great question, Carl, and it's entrepreneurship in large organizations and academia is something I'm very interested in, and clearly as director of the Institute, it's an important aspect of my job. And from the point of view of a research institute, when entrepreneurship falls into several categories, but the most straightforward way to think about it is one of the primary responsibilities of the director, or if it's a company, the primary responsibility of the CEO is creating a habitat for innovation, a habitat in which innovation flourishes. And innovation is what drives entrepreneurship and gives entrepreneurs something to exploit or value. So we focus tremendously on an organizational structure and policies that attract academic entrepreneurs, and there are a few, and few that might be the operative word, and that repel many of the others. And for us, the most important thing at IGC is maintaining the culture of innovation and the passion associated with innovation. And basically, nothing happens great without passion. And one of the key lessons we've learned is beware of any organizational structure that allows there to be sort of these people who are passion vacuum cleaners, and they're able to suck the passion right out of your best employee in just a small exposure to such a person. Typically they're in middle management, but they can appear anywhere. And those folks are a big problem.
All right, now let's throw it to those who are going to be taking care of us, Ken. When you retire and I come down and sit on the beach with you in Pensacola, our students, does anyone, and I certainly hope for the sake of your grade, that anyone have any questions for Dr. Ford? You want to come up here and ask it? Or you want to just ask it and have me be the...
I can just ask you.
All right.
Liaison. Can you hear me?
Can you hear him, Ken? Can you speak up loud, Justin?
Sure. Okay. My name is Justin Bradford. I'm the student government president. And referring back to your projects with the lunar rover and your talk about amplified intelligence, what type of amplified intelligence would we be likely to see on the lunar rover in terms of to help the astronauts and to help with exploration on the moon?
Did you get that?
I think I got it. What kind of amplified intelligence might one find on a lunar rover to help the astronauts? Is that it?
Basically.
Okay. There'll be a wide range of technologies designed to make the short amount of time that they're on the surface at tremendous expense as efficient as possible for exploration. So, for example, one can anticipate not just humans on the surface of the moon, but also robotic assistants, many of which would be able to do things like automated mineralogy and be able to know, are they looking at is the robot looking at an interesting rock, sufficiently interesting that a human should come look at it, those kind of things. A great investment has been made in NASA and those sorts of tools over the years, partly to enable the Mars rovers that are autonomous or largely autonomous on Mars to be able to function more effectively 225 million miles from Earth. The moon is so much closer that it's an easier problem because you can interact with Earth from the moon very quickly. But the driver on the moon is efficiency. It's how much exploration can you get done. So if you can empower the astronaut through cognitive aids, through perceptual aids, in ways that allow them to be a more efficient explorer, the investment is worth it. The worry that I have, and I think that many have in the astronaut corps, is if it's not a human-centered approach, meaning that if it doesn't start with the astronaut and then sort of fit the technology to how the astronaut's body and brain works, and mind works, we're going to end up with this hodgepodge of technologies that are very hard to use and that are actually a hindrance more than a help. And usually that's usually what happens.
You were talking earlier about military, how all these soldiers are coming home like without their eyesight. Is there any other medical advancements in that field, in the cognitive prosthesis field?
Did you get the question?
No, I missed most of it. Harville, could you repeat it?
Yes.
Harville?
You talked about the device that allowed a blind person to see through the sensory ability of the tongue. His question is, can you give us some other examples of devices that would help us, something specific like that, but something other than that particular device?
Sure. There are lots of them. For example, these kind of devices range from perceptual, like the tongue, to cognitive. For example, a project that we've been doing that colloquially is called smart medicine chest. But basically, as we have an ever increasing aging population, and we all seem to take more and more pills as one ages, we're having a huge incidence of people taking things together that don't go together and not having good conformance with the physician's plan. And so we've been doing a lot of work looking at the aging population and what kind of cognitive aids they might need. Everything from, sort of the so-called smart medicine chest that helps you know if you can, what drugs you can take together, what pills you can take together, but also serves as a memory aid. One of the, as we age, we sort of lose mobility, and we're working in that area. We lose some cognitive functionality in many cases, which is the biggest fear, and folks lose perceptual acuity as well. But in the cognitive area, there's a tremendous opportunity as technologies like hearing aids become extremely small, very powerful, strong computers embedded in these little devices that can communicate to maybe a device the size of an iPhone on your hip. One can imagine all kinds of memory and cognitive aids, and we're engaged in that kind of work for the aging population. And then, of course, language translators for the military, so that is a special forces person. Somebody comes up and speaking some language they don't understand, and the computer can help them with the translation in their earpiece